say good job. Good job for trying, you know. I know this can get really scary, especially if there's a lot going on and you selected the key that had probably the most going on. So, you know, you have my utmost respect just for doing that. Yeah, don't worry. Like, I think the biggest problem right now with what you've done is you've kind of like, probably because you felt overwhelmed, you've chosen a very, like, let's say, disorganized approach, right? You tried to accomplish it all and all at once, and then it ended up kind of like not, like probably not close to what you wanted it to look like, right? So I can show you some tricks on how to actually get to where you want to go. And I will leave your blue key untouched, okay? So I'm just gonna move this over here. I'm gonna show this to you on like the purple key, because none of this is easy, okay? So even I've been doing this a lot of times, and I can tell you none of this is easy or ever comes to you easy. It's just not a thing, I guess. I'm not quite sure. So first thing I always do is like I identify like all the 2D shapes, right? So for me this ring here is a 2D shape. For me this inner like little, let's call it button, is a 2D shape. This line is a 2D shape, right? Then even this crystal is a 2D shape. And all of this, imagine it from the side where you cut like the 3D shape in layers, right? This is how I try to imagine it. I know it's a little bit weird, I'm aware. So the first thing I usually start by doing is I identify all the shapes that probably will come easy to me, right? I'm not quite sure either. And I usually start actually in these kind of scenarios because I know we want to have like a really pretty result. So I start off actually quite high poly, and rather, you know, go through the trouble of making this low poly at a later point of time. So yeah, I'm just gonna essentially put this here. So this is a cylinder, right? Nothing more, nothing less. Let's make this like rather thin, kind of, because for now we're like literally focusing on everything 2D. And let's get this like a little bit better matched up. Okay, cool. Now we have this shape. It's kind of another cylinder, isn't it? But it's not quite. So the cylinder already has a lot of, I want to say, triangles, or, no, well, not triangles, actually quads, right? Or subdivisions. Let's call them because it's neither. In the cylinder you have quads on the side, and you have a polygon on the front and the back. So the next shape is this one, and this one probably has to consist of two parts. So of this like inner part over here, right, and this outer part which has like these key kind of details. So the easiest way of doing this is actually by putting in a plane, and we're going to put in two planes because we need another one in a bit for the crystal down here, using the same technique. So I'm rotating this on the x-axis, and I'm doing all of this in wireframe mode, right? And now you're like, wait, this is a circle. Why are we doing this stuff? Okay, I will show why we're doing this. So first of all, I'm putting a loop cut in the middle because I intend to reflect this to the other side, right? And then we're gonna actually push this down to here and push this over to here. So you see I'm already trying to find these lines instead of anything else. So now we're gonna subdivide this a bunch of times, and we're gonna subdivide this a bunch of times. Yeah, I'm well aware this must seem so not what we want to do, but this is exactly what we want to do. So we want to actually match this weird circle shape that anyway isn't a real circle, right? It's not a circle. So why should we try and put in a cylinder? Because the cylinder will end up giving us a lot of trouble. So hence I'm choosing not to go with a cylinder, because it's going to give us a lot of trouble. So now, because we already know we want to have those kind of shapes, also trying to line those up roughly. They don't need to be perfect, right? No need to overdo this, but like at least roughly. So I'm trying to stay within. I'm trying to line those up. So instead of getting like super overwhelmed by all the things that you know that there are, right? Sometimes it just makes a lot of sense to take it step by step and bit by bit. Because otherwise this is going to give you so much of a headache and it's totally not worth it, right? Getting a headache over this, not worth it. So here we are, bit by bit, right? And also if you have, stretches that are a little bit looking too funky, right? Put in another subdivision. Here we have another little bit of a hole. Like this. Like this. Like this. And this looks actually pretty good, right? So I think here I'm not quite sure how we're fixing this, but for now let's just go with something like this. And then we can already mirror this to the other side and we have, well, a shape at least. There are multiple ways of making this nicer. So you see, as soon as I add a subdivision surface modifier over here, right, it's gonna look really pretty and nice, and we're happy about it. So the first thing I want to do is obviously cut this out. So I'm gonna apply the mirror modifier for now. We're actually gonna get rid of it in a bit again. And I'm gonna push this inside, right? Also, of course, we want to have this exposed. And going here, and deleting everything we don't need, which is actually a lot. So now, same as before, right? We're gonna make sure this is neatly aligned. Also on the inside, this looks actually all pretty good. Yeah, and here's now the little bit of a hustle to do, but that's fine because that's important goods to us right here. Right? So that's pretty nice. And also we can now decide to maybe, actually let's leave this for now. That's good enough for now, right? So that's still flat. That's okay, that's still flat. Let's start extruding, because why not? Let's start getting rid of the subdivisions for now. So there are some things we want to extrude and there are some things we don't. So I'm going to change to edge select. So we want to extrude this, we want to extrude this. There's some, actually, there's like, we want to all extrude all of them for like a tiny bit, I want to say. So the tiny bit extrusion, let's do this. And I say extrude along normal, extrude, yeah. Let's try this. Right, this is the minimum we want to do, right? Okay. Then we have also stuff like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So all of these, we want to extrude them a bit more, don't we? So we take the most outer one, okay? We're just going to take the most outer one and then we're going to clip them down. So I think this here I think was the biggest one, yeah. Okay, and now we have actually already accomplished quite a lot. One thing we can do now is, as we're already on it and we have those already in a pretty good position, we can slightly anchor them on the y-axis, because eventually we want to get this kind of shape, right? So maybe this is actually a bit too much, but I think something like this is actually not terrible. So, and now it's just a matter of cleaning this up again. So I'm just gonna, and this is also why shortcuts matter so much. I know it's super annoying and people are always like, oh no, 100 more shortcuts I need to learn. I get it. It's not fun. I totally get it. But yeah, they make your life easier. So instead of always going like, oh, how can I move this, right? I just press G for grab, and then I have all the freedom with this that I want and need, and it's just, you know, it's just so much better. So here you can see we kind of like, I fucked this up. So what I do now is I bring out the K tool, which is the knife tool. I'm just gonna make a cut, enter. And now I have some freedom here, but the other problem we have is that we actually do want this to be connected somewhere over here. So I'm this person who makes that work. There's people who, you know, rip this apart. Both totally an option, right? I'm not, like, that's totally fine. You can do whichever comes easier to you. I want to say there is not one way to do this. There's always multiple ways on achieving your goals here. So yeah, I'm just like la. Here we have the same issue, right? We need some kind of subdivision here somewhere, actually there. So I'm also gonna push those over a little bit, and then let's subdivide also here. Let's connect those. Let's get rid of this little vertices because we don't need it. So this is how we do it. If we're in a good mood. Yeah, so this is quite fun. Gonna do this again. We can also use the knife tool, right? That's also an option. You always use that, and then you can get rid of this one. It's honestly, these things, they are up to you and whatever is easier for your workflow. You're definitely gonna use the knife tool. We would be pretty dumb for not doing it, because this is also how we can make the form work. And getting rid of all of those. Look at these pretty babies coming together quite well. And then doing another one here. Actually subdividing this also, because I think this is how we do it. We're just gonna let this kind of slide in here. But we can decide this later. We don't have to actually clean this up right now. So now if we are going to put the subdivision, it gives us a lot of trouble. So a reason for that is that we don't have like a ton of geometry in here, right? So the way to fix this is actually by doing this. But we're not going to do this right now. We're going to do this also at a later point. But actually this gives us quite some good, this gives us some good stuff to work with already. So let's quickly save this, because it's not looking so bad. Let's just call this keys. Okay. So even though this doesn't look great right now, we're just gonna mirror this and put this obviously on top of the subdivision layer. So we already have like 2 basic elements that we need, so that's actually pretty great. So that's cool, I guess. So something that we want to do now is we want to do this this whole layer part, and we want to do let's just quickly fix the let's just quickly fix this actually. So I want to do this in a way where I don't have to repeat myself. So I'm just gonna split this cylinder in half, and I'm gonna do one side, and after I've done one side, this one I'm gonna just reflect it over, right? Because we hate bubble work. So good question. How are we gonna do this? Let me see. I think so we're gonna extrude this. And then we're gonna make an inset here. And I think from this inset we're gonna get this little gem. So right now it looks like this, not super pretty, so I'm gonna sharpen it. And obviously gonna put a bevel on top, but that will only fix half of our issues. I'm gonna give this, let's go for 6 seconds. Okay, so now that we have this, we want to do some more stuff. So we definitely want to have some real heavy bevels over here, and over here. So we're gonna make those happen. Yeah, this is looking better. And obviously we want to get rid of the hard edges. So let me quickly do this, because the hard edges and bevels usually don't go so well. So we're gonna say clear sharp, and we're gonna take down the mean bevel and the mean C's. And this is how we get something that actually looks like what we wanted in the first place. Then we're gonna reflect this on over. So now it's on both sides. That's, by the way, something we have to do with this one as well. Already figured it's gonna look really terrible, because obviously we have to, for doing this, we have to move all of this a little bit more forward, right? So it actually captures what we've been producing here. So I want to make sure if I go to top view, that all of this is actually at least here. And that also brings me back into this mode. Yeah. So everything that stands out literally, we want to make sure that these pieces So yeah, we want to make sure if we look at this from top view now, that all of these damn, I think I selected the wrong ones, I'm sorry. think that should suffice. Just making sure I have everything. Do I have everything? I think I do have everything. Okay, now, yeah, now we're getting there. So let's make sure we're hitting this x-axis, because if we do that, actually, slightly before that, I think this is how we mark the sweet spot here. Because this is how we produce somewhat like what we need. But yeah, still a ton more to go. But at least getting somewhere with this. Okay, cool. So let's make this little gem in the middle. So I would do this, I think, with a... Actually, let's do this with a cube, just for the sake of showing this. So a cube can be a very funny thing in Blender, where it actually can become something pretty roundish, like so, if you add a subdivision surface. And that can sometimes be super cool. So let's take a look at this, right? So if we take this up, alright, this one is small, and we get this somewhere over here. Yeah, you can already see this is not looking totally terrible. The only downside to this is that it's not exactly round. I would have so much preferred this. Well, okay, that's an issue. Didn't think about this. Even though it doesn't look terrible, it's not what we need. So we need this to be round. So we actually need to go and get a UV sphere. We need to pump it up to 46 and 32. And yeah, and then I guess it's this is a little bit of a pity. So there's two ways of doing this. We can either cut this here, or we can cut this here, but I think we're gonna cut this. Yeah, we're gonna cut this here. It's gonna look better. So we're gonna make we're gonna mark the seam. We're gonna go to face select, we're gonna go L, X, faces, RX 90, bunch smaller, up, bunch smaller, still. Let's make this even more small. Yeah, this is looking very decent. So the only thing I would want to change is right now this. It's like it's very yeah, it doesn't look quite the way we want this to look like. So I'm going to select the middle vertices. I'm going to go in proportional editing, keep this on smooth, right? And essentially just like press this inside. And we will probably end up with something that we actually do want. So one other thing is obviously we have to fix this and sharpen this. And yeah, I think now we're getting to where we actually do want this to look like. Yeah, this is actually not bad. I do wanna fix this up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is edit mode and gonna start to you can see whatever I do now, this is like too much impact, right? Yeah, that's actually quite alright. I'm gonna do the same. We're gonna reflect it all over. Right. So now that part exists. Not terrible. Okay, let's I'm wondering what should we do next. Let's do the crystal. Let's do the crystal. Why not? So the crystal is the most fun part, but it's probably also the most trickiest one because it's super organic in a sense, right? But we're gonna try and put the same technique to use that I showed before. So we're gonna subdivide this a bunch of times to grasp the outer shape. And then once we have that, we're gonna go and deal with the actual three-dimensional issue that we have to face here. So let's. Yes, I have a feeling I'm gonna do this more than once. So this is a little bit different, I guess, because yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. So I'm just trying to grasp the outer shape. And then once I am getting closer to doing that, look at this. This is not looking terrible. Once I'm getting closer to actually achieving kind of like the outer shape part, this is when I go into this is when I start cutting this up, right? Because there are a ton of shapes that need to be cut. So this is where I go into, you know, get my cool knife tool out. And I just make a bunch of cuts. All the cuts that I think need to be there, right? Some I can just join, others I take my knife tool again and, you know, get this as much where I need this to go as somehow possible. And this is actually great. Then we have this cut. Then we have this cut. Definitely these two need to be joined, right? And so I work my way forward through making all of these cuts, which sometimes can just, you know, it takes a while. But it's okay. It's how can I say, it's gonna be worth it, right? That's what matters. It's gonna be worth it. And sometimes you get very weird shapes, which you then have to actually break up because they might get you into a lot of trouble otherwise at some point. So I'm just gonna break those up. I'm always trying to get in like a quad mode. This is my my preferred way of doing stuff, because if you have shapes like this here, like this large one that we're having right now, this one, right, this is a horrible shape. Like you don't really want this. So my recommendation is let's cut this up if we can. So here's already something that tells us there could be a cut, right? And then this and this could be a cut, maybe. And what else do we have? We have this one. So cut this up. This is another nice quad. We can also make a triangle, maybe. Actually, this one's probably going to be a triangle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a really bad one, but we cannot really fix this. So sometimes we will have to live with them, because otherwise we don't get like this organic crystal-y thing that we need from all of this. So yeah. Here as well, cannot do this. But here we can be a little bit more generous, I think. Taking this. Let's actually go here for this. This. Okay. This ain't looking so terrible. I'm gonna be a little bit generous over here, this part. And the same with this part. So we're gonna actually connect those, and we're gonna connect those. We're gonna turn this over here, and we're gonna dissolve this one. It's not great, but it works. Sometimes what works is more important. And I think there's like a few more cuts. So I'm gonna join those up. I think we have everything here. So this one is the only one that's still giving trouble, and I don't want to keep it like this, so I'm just going to use the knife tool one more time. Actually get this here. It's not perfect. It's probably give us a lot of trouble, to be honest, but we might as well try. And I think this one should be joined. And probably there should be another join here. But yeah, we can look at this later. But as you see, we have now a plane that kind of reflects what we wanted to reflect, the crystal, the inner crystal. So we can deal with that. And the next part in this is essentially, and I don't want to show all of this because that's going to be hell of boring. It's essentially trying to think of this more in a 3D way, right? So this should probably go out, right? Maybe those ones should actually this one should go out, right? Then I'm seeing like, oh, maybe this one should actually be connected and stay. And yeah, at some point, I guess, what you can do is you can take this and like start, pulling out all of this to a certain degree. So you get like more volume applied, right? But yeah, I think that's for a little bit later. Let's leave this for later. And also, I'm wondering if we need this additional vertices down here, because I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all, actually. Sorry. Okay, this looks pretty good, I think. I'm gonna leave it like this. And now we're gonna go to yet another plane. Mirroring on the X. And starting to make this kind of shape. Yeah, so we're gonna do all of this until I want to say here, because we're gonna ignore for a split second that we have this weird thing on top. Okay, I'm just gonna lightly ignore this. And same up here, right? We're just gonna pretend this is what it is. And it goes from here to there. So first thing I'm gonna do again is splitting this in half, because I just want to mirror it over. And I'm gonna extrude this up, and I'm gonna pull this down. Also gonna pull this down. I'm gonna pull this out, pull this up. And same again, this time. Until here. This I will leave. Yeah, this is good enough. Okay, same as well. Let's get this over. That's good enough. And now, I want to try and make this, right? And this is not gonna be easy, because we need to sculpt this. And I hate sculpting. Everyone knows this. So the easiest way I think this could be achieved is by putting in a cube, elongating this a little bit until we're like happy, right? And then I'm gonna do this with it. So what I just did is really just essentially making putting on 2 layers of subdivisions, right? We definitely need this to be slightly bigger, and we need this on the bottom part to be wider. So somewhat like this. Ooh. Somewhat like this. That's good. And we definitely want this to be a little bit flatter, I want to say. Okay, so now I'm making the duplicate of this. Hide that duplicate. And I'm gonna have a look at the mesh count. I think this is, you know what? Let's go a little bit more wild. Let's make 4. Yeah, and this is where we have to sculpt, I guess. Oh man, I hate this. I so hate this. But it's okay. It's gonna be fine. Okay, so going into sculpt mode, right? I have this out, and here's sculpt mode. Woo! Sculpt mode like crazy. Okay, so the first thing that I usually do is I'm gonna activate the topo. I'm gonna set this, in this case, I don't even know, man. Maybe I'm gonna set this over to 8. This is a good one. Yeah. I think that's good enough. And yeah, and that gives me some authority here, obviously, right? but also I need this to be reflected to all 4 sides. So first thing is to figure out where's reflection, right? So we can see this is not the one we need. So we probably need those 2. And with F, you can actually, oh man, I dislike this so much, you have no idea. So anyhow, in here you can achieve all of these great sculpting things. And yeah, I'm terrible at this, so I'm not taking a lot of pleasure in doing this, right? And I'm doing this, by the way, right now with the mouse. I just want to prove people that this can be done with a mouse. You shouldn't be afraid of doing this with a mouse. Yeah, anyhow, this is how you do this. And again, I'm not enjoying this. But this is the way on how to do this. And then for the last part of like the more substantial things, right? Because yeah, I don't I don't want to do this now, to be honest. I'm gonna keep this for next week. But the next part of this is obviously doing this like rocky thing, right? And I'm gonna be very disappointing in saying the rocky thing has to be sculpted as well. This is not something you generally want to do any other way. The only difference is I would use the same technique as with the other planes, right? I would start with something like this, not as detailed. Obviously, there's no need. You just need to encompass the outer shape. And once you have the outer shape, I think this is where we would run. And let's just quickly do this, because why not? Everything that's modeling is no problem. I just get very frightened about sculpting. Sculpting is not my friend, I think. Yeah, so same procedure as always, right? So getting rid of half of it. And then, yeah, I think we keep this fairly simple. So subdividing this a few times, subdividing this a few times. But generally speaking, simple rules in this specific one. So instead of trying to encompass these things, right, forget about them. Just pretend like they don't exist. Just pretend like you need this kind of stuff to work for you, right? That's the only thing you need to worry about. So you have this, you have this, this. So we are much more rough on this one than on the other ones, right? So we're gonna go here, but then we're just gonna pretend like all of this is one piece, okay? So again, pretending like this is all one piece. Same thing. And then this stuff that you see has like little turquoise things. And there's I think we're gonna model all of this time. I think we're not gonna go into textures too much. But yeah, I think let's keep it easy, I guess. So yeah, I guess the way on how to do this is applying this, turning this into one piece, really. And then I would just try and remesh this. Yeah, something like this, I think. Yeah, let's get this to kind of a fine mode. It's actually not terrible. Smooth shading, I don't care. And then apply this. Then take all of this. Whew. What's the headache here? I wonder. Maybe I should have... You know what? Maybe we solidify this first. Yep. Let's solidify this first. Then remesh it. Right? Actually, before doing any of this, I correct myself, and we're gonna actually keep this connection because this connection can give us volume. So we're gonna do let's just leave this. Let's actually see what this spits out for us. That's not terrible. I wonder what happens if we also mirror this. So the mirror stuff should probably happen somewhere here. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think there's much more we need to do, but for now that's not terrible. And that would give us a good base to start sculpting on for the crystal on the back, I think. Now we have all the most basic elements to actually start building out the details, right? So in your case, it's the same kind of procedure, right? To build elements that are non-destructive. So for example, those circles, those toruses here, they're very destructive, right? Because now we cannot change anything more about them. So another way of doing this is by essentially working with a curve instead of a shape, right? So I'm just gonna be one little example, because then I'm super tired. But yeah, instead of using a torus, you could use a curved circle. With that curved circle, you can go into geometry and properties of that circle, and we can say, hey, make a torus for me. But it becomes highly flexible, so if you need to fix something up, right, it's super easy to do that. Then we can do this here, and we can start actually making real adjustments to this. So now we already have something that's a little bit better to digest than what we had before. Right, and we can also mirror this over again. This time we're going to use this one as our mirroring part. And yeah, we're already so much more happy with this. Oh. Oh. Let me actually grab those. Okay, now we have something so much more flexible to work with, right? So that could be one thing. Then again, right, let's make a plane out of this. Let's make cylinders out of this. Let's make a plane out of these elements. And you don't even have to put them all in one plane. But do it like bit by bit by bit. This approach, by the way, really good approach. But I can show you a way to accomplish this in a way easier manner. So this is already super good. You had the right idea. You're just missing a technique for now, but we will fix that in no time. So yeah, that is kind of, I want to say how you could do this, right? There's obviously a ton of other possibilities, and I'm really dreading the sculpting part. I really, really do, but we will have a grand time testing this out together, won't we? Look at this. This is actually, it's a very horrible mesh. Oh, yeah, and we obviously need to apply it before we actually get to sculpting. But that's something we're gonna do when we get there. When we get there, not now. Yeah. Looks like a mess right now. But it's gonna look really nice once we're done with it. It's gonna look really, really nice. I'm looking at your file right now. So it's no problem that the eyebrows didn't come with, forget the you know, the thingies. That's no problem. What's giving me a little bit more of worry is your little tail. So I think the first thing we should do probably, so why I did put this on wireframe is because I thought, maybe, just maybe, the geometry between the model and the actual clothing is too different. If that's the case at times, you know, you might encounter, you know, where the body eats the clothing kind of situations. But that's actually not so much of an issue, I think. Although I would recommend we make this more detailed, right? But I think you turned it down or up because you needed this to simulate better. So I want to say let's take these few pieces and put them on deactivate pattern ensuing, okay? And let's just put them away for a second. And now let's just make sure that the first layer is simulated well, okay? So I'm gonna simulate that part. I'm just gonna make sure that that part looks the way how I want it to look like, right? And this is actually not how we want this to look like, because in our scene, Alana is gonna be much higher up, right? So what we actually do want is, I'm gonna take all of these really out of the way, is we want to make sure that these pieces here have pins attached to it. So we're gonna go pin some of these thingies. Okay, so I'm gonna go on actually wanting to render this kind of thing. And now we can take up those pins bit by bit and make them float, right? Because that's what we actually do want. We want this to look like, at least from my understanding, but you will tell me now if I was seeing this the totally wrong way, then now would be the time to tell me this, I guess. But I thought we're gonna make this so it looks very floaty, I guess. Oh, and yeah, we want to make sure that I actually hit the little points here. It's a little bit of a filling, right? And you also need to make sure that you're actually hitting this like in a way where this looks nice. And like kind of organic still, even though it's pinned, which usually is like really hard to accomplish. So yeah, stuff like this, right? This is where you want this to maybe possibly go. So yeah, I recommend you do this. Once you're happy with one position, that's the next part, is where you take this and you freeze those out, right? And this is when you take the next two layers, bring them actually close again, right? And you activate them again. And also I recommend you freeze out all the other stuff. It's probably actually a good idea. Okay, so you only have to deal right now with making those pieces fit really well and look really nice, right? And I'm aware this needs a bunch of patience. So take your time doing this, right? We don't have to finish tomorrow. It's no problem. We have so much more things to go, and we can take our time for this because it's worth it. Yeah, so this is the next layer, right? And you do the exact same thing. So you simulate it in a way where it starts looking really nice. Like this one actually fell really nicely. And then you do the same thing with this, right? You put some nice pins on here and you start lifting it up with the pins. That's essentially the whole master plan idea. And then something else you should start doing is this UV right now looks obviously like a mess. So I recommend you go into your 2D pattern window. This is my approach. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you how I do it. I already align everything in this window in a way where I know it will fit the UV square, because we only want to have one UV square. We never want to have more than one. Reason for that is games and online platforms will not be able to take more than one. So better get used to just having this one, right? So, and now if you go to UV editor and you right click and you say reset UV from 2D pattern window, you already get something really nice, you know? And it will not make you angry or frustrated, which is really nice. Yeah, so that's that. Please do that. And yeah, I think this looks actually all very good. Like, you did a really good job so far. I'm really proud of you. This is not like you haven't chosen an easy design, you haven't chosen an easy pose. You know, all of this takes a lot of time and patience, and you've been doing really, really well with this. So yeah, I'm proud of you, but more importantly, you should be proud of yourself. So I'm just gonna upload this in case you wanna take it from here, so you don't have to do the bottom layer again. If you don't want to, you can, but you don't have to. Or actually, you probably should, because it's not quite perfect yet. You probably should. Actually, no, I will let you do this. You should do this by yourself. Also, it's your vision. But this is the way on how to do it. Okay, talk to you tomorrow.
So, yeah, really, thanks for the help. I gave it a shot. I didn't do too much. It looks like I didn't do a lot, but I did, like, it was quite a bit. So happy to share with you.
Yes, please. I'm curious to see. I'm also gonna head over to our board right now.
Cool. Let me also get it up quickly.
How the board has evolved, right? It's like
I know, it's
we
mental,
started at
man.
some
Like,
point and now it's just like
exploded.
in all places. Yeah. No, when I downloaded your file, I was like, I know why this happened. You know, it's just it. I think because you can do everything theoretically, right? It's also really really hard to find a. It's like, you know, if you want to buy cream cheese, right? And then you're in America for the first time, and you're like, yeah, let's buy some cream cheese, and then you see like what 45 different versions of cream cheese, and you're like, okay, fuck that, I don't have patience for this, let's just go with the plain one, right?
It's just
It's
like,
it's
I'm never gonna be able to get it like perfect like that. But I'm like, there must be something somewhere that I can just sort of learn how to. Because I mean, I've never made like a 3D thing really before like that. So I'm like, how do I even make it 3D? Like stupid questions like that. I didn't even understand. But yeah, it came out like a Lego. You know, you could see like looking too blocky. It's
it
not
came out
going
like a
anywhere.
Roblox key.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Hey, let's do a spin-off. Like, why not? Let's do time.
But you know, you had a really good idea about the particle system. That wasn't a particle system. The little like crystal squares that you put around,
Oh
right?
yeah.
I can show you how to do this via a particle system. Then you know it will be. The more you know, the more fun this gets, right? Just in the beginning, when
Yeah.
you don't know really what you're doing, you're like just like. But like I
Stabbing in the
said,
dark.
I'm so amazed that you actually took on the challenge, because that's insane, you know? It's
So bad.
Yeah, but it's so good. This is how you actually do learn, right? So just trying to solve this by yourself, and you know, going through the different steps and doing the best you can, you know, like, ah, damn, that doesn't work, you discover all the things that don't work, means at the same time you have to discover the solutions towards them, right? And
Yeah.
so it's in my opinion still the best strategy to learn anything is just to start doing it, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, you have my
100%.
utmost respect, because I know a lot of people who would crumble in front of that. So
Thank you.
yeah, good job. Okay, want to share your screen for me, or
Yeah, sure.
yeah?
Let
Okay.
me do that quickly and see if I can get this right again because I couldn't
Yeah.
do it. Oh, wait. Let's not do that. Let's be smart about this. Oh, crap. Okay, sorry. It's like I don't understand why this is such a learning curve for me. Oh, wait, screens.
Oh,
Okay.
because it's a fucking horrible thing. Like,
Fuck.
it
Is
was
this
also for me a
working?
huge learning curve. I'm not gonna lie.
Can you see it? Can you see my
Oh,
screen?
nice backdrop.
I know, it's a new computer. Okay, so now, okay, you just have to bear with me. I know it looks like I haven't done much. Let me move this out the way. But it's still wonky,
Oh,
and it's still, but what I'm struggling with
yeah.
is like, I can't get it to like, you know, let me just zoom in because I was just a bit of a nightmare. Like, I can't even get the modes right because I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
It's because those don't have yet filled in faces. So
Okay.
with the really detailed ones, I would scrap, right? Also said in the video, like, keep it, you know,
And
like detailed to a certain amount, but don't overdo it. And also the different materials should probably not be attached all together.
okay.
So I would detach them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's how you do it. So if you were to click on one of the vertices, just one,
Let me see if I
and
can
press
get close.
Shift D,
Shift D,
okay, and then X,
X.
yeah, and then just move it to the side. Move it somewhere to the side, just anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, now you press E for extrude, and again X.
Okay.
Okay, and click somewhere. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So now these two vertices is just an example. If you select both of them,
Okay. Oh. I see it's on a different axis. Sorry, let me just go this way.
no,
I've
it's
made it
because
weird.
you have the move tool selected. You should definitely get rid of the move tool. If you go to this menu bar and go to the first option.
Right here.
The little
top,
arrow with the yellow square
This
around.
thing.
Yeah, that's so much better. And now you press P
Okay.
and you say selection.
Okay.
So now if you go out of edit mode by pressing tab key again,
Okay, sorry.
so just select only the two vertices that you just had separated. Oh, look at this, they're separate. If you press G now, yeah, you can move them independently. So they are now their own thing, right? And so you can repeat that principle with everything that you want to separate. So all the things that you already have laid out so nicely, no need to redraw them, right? You can just select this, go into edit mode.
Yeah.
And essentially, you were the wrong. You had the wrong one selected. Go back into object mode. Yeah. Select this exactly, and then press tab key. You have a tab key on your. Yeah, exactly. That's the shortcut to switch between edit mode and object mode. And so now you can, with your marquee tool selected, right? You can just mark all the lower area, for example, right? Just like drag around the lower area, everything that you want selected.
Okay, so all of it though, or just a little bit of it? The detailed parts.
Everything that you want, that you think should be separated.
Okay, this is weird. Like, I don't know.
So, okay, zoom closer.
Sorry, give me a second.
Yeah.
What's that shortcut? It's like numpad control or something. It's like.
Oh, it's just if you want a straight front view, it's 1 on a numpad, or perfect, or that. The gizmo also always works. Yeah, and now press P. Perfect. Oh, damn. Control Z. Just go Control Z. You had this already so perfectly selected.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you just ran out of battery?
Sorry. Maybe just 1 second.
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello?
Sorry. The stupid headphones. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. Okay, try to select this area again. Okay, press P. And also if you, and selection. And now if you go with the tab key back into object mode, and you will see, select this piece.
This.
Yeah, just select, just click. Yeah. And press the G key. And now that's the area you have selected. You don't, okay, go all the way to the side. Have this, yeah, and now you want to put this back in place. Don't move it back in place, just right click on your mouse.
Okay.
Wow!
Cool.
Snapping back in place. Little motherfucker.
Oh gosh, okay. It needs a lot of work, okay, so like, it's still wonky, I need to fix it, but I was just trying to see if I could actually just do it. And the other issue I was having is it wasn't like mirroring, so like only some of it was mirroring, can you see like only some of it does?
Yeah.
And I think it's because the origin was like weird, so like if it was saying the origin, let me just give you an example, like I have the mirror, this is what I was using. It's like I was flipping it on the other side.
Yeah, so what you have to do for that is press Control A and say all transforms. And now do the mirror modifier again.
Sure, that took long here. Today I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to now remake it on the other side.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, thank you.
No, it's super annoying, I'm aware. And also, yeah, you will probably need to split this piece up into different sections, so you can actually fill it out and stuff like this, right?
Okay.
Also the roundish pieces, the ones that
Yeah.
you can assume are roundish somewhat,
Mm.
probably it's a good idea to make those specific pieces with a cylinder, right? It
Okay, yeah.
could prove to be less painful, let's just say.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking definitely this thing in the middle there.
Yeah.
I was thinking even these maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, as well.
Not looking nice. Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. And then can I try to do like this by hand, kind of like the inside? Or
Yeah, so I think the inside is probably, it could be sculpting, right? But it also could be just a really cool texture, which I want to
Okay.
say is probably the best idea. We make a cool texture
Okay.
for it and forget about like too intricate details. Yeah.
Could I try maybe do like this, you know, and like that, like the big pieces, and then
Yeah.
maybe like that can be for, okay.
You should
Alright,
definitely
okay.
try whatever you feel ready to try, because like imagine this as a piece finished in your portfolio. That would be
Yeah.
definitely really, really cool. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's why it's really good that you feel like, you know, excited to do this, because feeling excited about this stuff is already half the rent. You're already half there, right? If this would annoy the shit out of you, I would say like, okay, let me just model this, right?
No,
But
no,
as lo-
it is fun.
as long as you're good to, you know, do this, you can learn a lot from just, you know, giving it a go. And
Yeah,
also
100%.
something, and I'm probably not mentioning enough because people only always see like the finished stuff that I have. Oh, come on, you want to say hi? Say hi.
You little boo-boos.
This is my little
Oh,
Toysy.
oh, so cute.
Yeah,
Little ears.
he doesn't think he's cute. He thinks he's the coolest guy on the block. So
Oh, he's
be
sassy.
aware. But you're such a mama boy. Look at you. You're
Oh,
definitely not the cool guy.
shame. Oh, he just
Oh.
wants to be slugged. Shame. So cute. What's his
Yeah.
name?
His name is Zeus. Zeus,
Oh, shame.
like the
Zeusy.
little.
Cute Zeus.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, he's so cute, man.
Yeah.
Just
He's
wants
my
to be
little
by the
kid.
mommy.
Yeah, exactly.
Shame. Shame, man.
No, but it's a
Yeah.
really good job you've done with this so far, by the way. I should say this more
Thank
often.
you. Thank
And
you for the
also-
videos.
And also,
Very helpful.
with everything new that I do, I was just doing today, I was trying to make a plant, an alien plant, right? I tried like 10 times from the beginning, right? Because it didn't work. It just didn't work. It didn't look the part. So with everything that is like very new to you, right? You will encounter the same problem, but the more often you do this, the more solutions you find that work for different things, right? And then it eventually gets easier for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, you know, it also comes with like asking the right questions, because it's like, I don't even know what to type into YouTube sometimes. It's like, I don't even know the terminology. So it's like, you're really starting at the bottom. And then it's like, when you get it, it's okay, you know, like, I mean, you obviously been helping me a lot, and just reading up, and then that helps. And you know what to like, that also bring up a whole other thing, you know, like that cat pendant thing. I'm gonna like, oh, I'm so angry with it. Like, I'm so disappointed. Like, I was like really trying to like make it work. Like, it was gonna be really cool. Like, she made it look so nice. I'm like, I can make you do this like with a key. But like, nah, wasn't working. No more cat pendants.
You can do it. Now
No,
you're right? You see other people doing this, and you're like, oh yeah, sure, like this is exactly how it's supposed to go. And then you try it by yourself, and you're like, sure, totally easy. You know.
uninstalling Blender, like always uninstall, reinstall, because you always have that like battle with yourself, you know.
I know. Oh, by the way,
Yeah,
how are
I
you
know.
doing with the dress? Did this help what I showed you in the video?
Yes, it did. That I'm hitting a bit later. I didn't get to that today. Work was
No
a bit
worries.
hectic. But I'm going to do that, and that's going to be sent back to you. But I watched the video. I usually like to watch them first and then give them a try and watch the video again, so I just understand. But the key was like giving me anxiety a bit, and then I was just like, let me just focus on that. So
No,
I'll hit the
it's-
garment tomorrow.
It's good. It's good you feel excited. I'm happy you feel excited about the key, to be honest. Oh, look at this. This is where we just worked on. It's Alana's chateau. And so this is the chateau. And this is the living
That's
room.
nice. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh,
It's
it's so fancy.
right. She's fancy. Yeah, she is fancy. This is
But it's so
a
much.
this is a portal pad, and here I need to make a new texture. This texture we're already using on many occasions, so we decided to make a new one, and also gonna gather some more plants that look exciting enough. But yeah, just wanted to show you this.
Cool. That is so cool, and I like the little cushions, and she's got like books, and it's like little like, yeah, there's so
Yeah.
much going on there. It's such a vibe. I love it.
Yeah, this is good to hear. This is like first real feedback, so thank you. Okay,
Really
wait.
nice.
Let me open our because I've docked it around a little bit, but I'm not quite happy. This is your file. Okay, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, censoring for YouTube, and it's working. It's censored. No, but I'm not sure, did I put those in here or not? I think I did. Okay, so I want to give a quick a shout out. So one was this tutorial, which I thought was really cool because it builds on geometry nodes, but because we need to do actually a little bit of sculpting, in the end, this is not what I ended up using. So instead, I looked at this guy's tutorial.
Wow.
I wanted to share this with you also on the board in case you ever need it. Blender, Greek column. Yeah, this guy, H-Bit Project. I hope I'm pronouncing this the correct way in case he ever sees this. Should subscribe to his channel. It's really, really good. So he does a lot of this like ancient building stuff. And what I didn't know when we were talking is that actually so I was watching this tutorial. I was about to actually rebuild this, and then sometimes can be really nice to just read the description because he is offering the blend file for those columns for free. So in case you thought I made those columns, I really didn't. So he actually did it for us. So thank you so much for
Crazy.
saving us from this. But nonetheless, I only discovered this when I already had watched the full tutorial. But it's a really good, like, it's not a tutorial per se, it's like a time lapse, right, showing how he makes these different elements. It's really really cool. So I really enjoyed watching it. It was very like meditative, I guess. So yeah, I actually took some of his pieces and essentially took them apart in a sense. So all of this is kind of like taken apart because I thought, yeah, it would be really nice to have her come out of this and then have these columns in the back with this stuff attached. So this is the stuff that I still have to bring down here. And then in the back, you have like those giant columns, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I wanted to put like some rocks and some other stuff over here. Yeah, but this is where I'm at.
Like it's so ornate, those the patterns and stuff. Like that's really nice.
Right? Isn't this so cool? And he has a very similar strategy. He works on planes and then brings it essentially in a 3-dimensional space. So yeah, this is why I also put the tutorial, because even though we have this all figured out now for us, right? It's totally worth watching it. Like it was really really good to watch it, to be honest.
It's so pretty even without like any texture or color or anything. Like just like that. Like it just looks really nice. That's just crazy. Sure, definitely give that a watch.
That's good. Yeah. No, it made me also very happy. Also, something I did already is I gave all of these little ingredients, I want to say, I gave it already some subdivisions. So we can... So I see. What did you do again? Go down. Go down. Sometimes he feels so comfortable that he farts. and it's really gross. I'm sorry to say it, Soisy, I love you, but you can be really gross. Yeah. Nah, but he didn't. It just had a whiff of Soisy farting. Sorry. We shouldn't be talking about this on YouTube. I know. Don't banish me. Yeah. So I'm a little bit unsure about some things, I guess. But yeah, I want to actually start applying some of these things and ornaments, I think. So the way, by the way, how I'm doing this, can you see my screen? Yeah, you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Is I'm using the Hard Ops add-on. You don't need this right now, but in the future you might need this. The Hard Ops add-on is essentially an add-on that allows you to quickly work on hard surface things. That's what it essentially does.
Andy.
And yeah, well, that's what it does. I'm like, And so yeah, sometimes like, so there's, for example, there is some weird stuff going on here, which I think is because we need to scale this further out. Is this a thing? Okay, but we should, before doing this, we should actually make set origin to geometry, and now we should, yeah, that makes so much more sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's everything. Huh. Everything is good. Oh. So now if we scale out, yeah, now it should actually turn up the way it's supposed to. Okay, that looks so much better. Then we have this, Gonna unite those. I'm just gonna try and unite like all of these different meshes, essentially. That's what I'm after. No, that was a really bad decision. Now it's going back. Wait, where are the subdivisions on? What happens if I take those out? Oh, that's where they're on. Damn. Okay. Go back. Go back in time. Go back in time, Blender. Okay. Yeah. So let's apply this first. And then sometimes with these things it gets very annoying. But this one worked now, so that's good, I think. So I'm not sure what happens if we were to kill that. I'm wondering. Oh, okay, fine. Let's leave this. But we can apply this. I knew it. I'm sorry. So the problem is when you join different meshes that they sometimes have properties that the other one doesn't have, and then it gets like super annoying to a certain degree. So you always need to make sure in which order you're actually joining like different meshes. Gets a little bit it's a little bit tricky sometimes, you know. So yeah, for example, this here, right? That's just not how we want this to look like. And if I apply sharpen, which is also with a specific tool, then it makes this part nice, but it makes this part crappy, right?
Yeah.
So the only way on fixing this that I can think of right now is by selecting just this area, separating it again. Now making sure that everything that is turned to sharpen on here is actually clear sharp, and these values are being turned down. So now we're back to the you know, proper state. Then I apply a subdivision surface. This one I apply, and then I actually join it back and hope, yeah, it works. Right, so now we have the whole thing. But sometimes it's just, it's so annoying, honestly. And yeah, I think if we have this somewhere here, that would be good. Can put her more to the front as well. And then I guess the last thing to do really is joining this. And maybe mark sharp. Yeah, I think this is where we get somewhere to where we want this to be, aesthetically speaking.
Yeah, okay.
We're still not there,
Really nice.
but, huh?
It looks really cool, though. I can't believe those patterns on that thing. It's just mental. It's like, I don't know how someone can make that.
Yeah, no, he did an amazing job. It looks really, really nice. I was amazed that because I was so sure at some point he would move over to sculpting, but then he didn't, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And if you look at our reference image here.
How crazy, it's like exactly the same. It's like just freaky a little bit.
It's a little bit, right? Oh man, do you see this? There's something,
yeah.
something is not quite right. Let me investigate this. Oh, okay. We're gonna do this part again. This would not go well with just repairing, so we're just gonna remake this area. But it's not a biggie. It's okay. Okay, and then we have all of these. So I have built this in a modular way. So I mean, it's not super modular, but these ones I have actually made, and I made them so we can, you know, maybe take one down, right? Let it fall over, whatever, right? So this is why I made it this way. So we have some more opportunities to play with the scene, I guess. That was one idea. And yeah, I should wait, why? Oh, now I understand what happened. I think I understand what happened. I think I fucked this up. Did I fuck this up? No, it was fucked up before. Okay, cool. Just needed to make sure, you know. I don't want to be held responsible for this. I was confused because I accidentally essentially deleted the inside.
Okay.
So weird. So let's delete this one. Yeah, okay, we're good again. Sorry. It can be so confusing. Okay, and now I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna duplicate this once, and I'm gonna put the duplicate into its separate collection. I'm just gonna call it column raw, and we're gonna unview this, because what I'm gonna do now is I'm essentially gonna start taking all of these pieces, verifying the subdivision level if it's everywhere. Can we go with 2 on this? We can go with 2. Yeah, 2 totally works fine. And same here. So if we can go with the same for all of them, right? That means we should have an easy time joining them and making this actually one piece, which obviously will help us, you know, reflecting, for example, stuff over. That's one thing. Also, it made me realize we built this scene entirely out of focus. It's like, it's not,
okay.
like all of this is not centered. Oh, and then Blender crashed.
Blender, come on. Damn.
It's fine. And then the house burned down. Okay. So let's join these pieces again. Okay. So I realized this when I was mirroring this over, but it should have also been very evident, you know, when I saw this, to be honest. So I'm just gonna take this, gonna put this on so, and then I'm wondering, I think is this, and this is the same. It looks like, yep, I think we did it. Okay, so now Control A again to move the cursor back to the center, and gonna move this over. Doop, 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 doop. Set origin to set origin, geometry to origin, no. Origin to geometry, yes. I'm like, yes, maybe. Okay, so if you have something like this, where you want pieces to be, like, you know, stacked on top of each other, can become sometimes quite a hassle. So what I use is the snap tool. It's this little like hoof kind of shaped tool on the top, and I usually select vertex mode, but I know a lot of people are also using edge mode and face project, but yeah, I'm mostly on. So I just essentially grab this with G, right? Then press the Z axis and essentially just put this on so, and now it's like resting on top of it comfortably. Is it comfortable? And I'm wondering, I think, yes. Okay, so one thing we should also probably do is the top one should become slightly thinner. So we're gonna probably something gonna be like so we still need the top thingies, so maybe we should do this first before playing around too much here. We still need those guys to be part of this.
Wow, that's nice.
They look pretty amazing, honestly. So by the way, it's 2 of them that are like stacked together. This is why this looks a little bit hideous, but this is what we actually do need. This is the piece. So I'm just gonna hide everything we don't need, so it's not gonna get in the way. So hiding, by the way, you can do by just selecting something and pressing H on your keyboard.
Yeah.
This is the shortcut for that. And here I'm gonna do a smart apply again. Another Operation Smart Apply. Operation Smart Apply. Ah, this is why that had a... Oh, now I get it. Okay, let's make a duplicate of this. And yeah, I think we're good by using just this, I think. Okay, let's just try and align this. Yeah, the keyboard, the numpad on the keyboard is your best friend, right? I know you've already realized this, but just here to say it one more time. Because it lets you...
I just read it like they're like, need a numpad, it'll save your life for Blender, so I'm trying to use it a lot.
Yeah, that's smart. It's definitely a smart thing to do. Okay, and we are ready to say all transforms, and we're ready to mirror this essentially all over. And that means we have something starting to work with.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. I want to stretch this out a little bit further to cover like the holes. We don't need to fix them. Yeah, and you can see we can, you know, we can afford to go a little bit wider on this. This is so funny. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, as if like this would be real life, but I need to actually turn it in here. Ay.
It's funny.
It is, isn't it? Okay, and here, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I guess that's not bad. The only thing that I thought we should probably add is up here another essentially loop cut, and then using that loop cut to essentially extrude a little bit to the outside. Wasn't sure if that would be working in our favor, so we have to kind of confirm this. It's not terrible, but we need to fix it up. Because obviously, because we have the subdivision thing going on, right? This just looks a little bit weird. So first things first, I want to align this. So I'm using the snappy snapping tool again. Because, you know, as Zoe just stated, because, yeah. And, okay. So then we have it like this, and this is when we can actually, it's not working as well as I figured it would. Let me try this. Size! No one is asking for your opinion. No. No. My goodness. You know, if people would know I have discussions with my own dog. Seriously, buddy. Oh, yeah, this is more of what I was looking for. Okay. So now I've made a loop cut here, and then we can, you know, we can keep the bottom kind of like nice and rounded, but the top becomes more of like a flat surface. So that's yeah, that's not terrible. Let's crank this up a little bit more. Same here, same here. Okay. Still doesn't really give us. I mean, yeah, I wish it would let us put something in here so we could make this more pronounced. That would be really, really, really good. But I think it's not gonna let us do this because of this line. So if we would have to get rid of this, you know, and I don't want to get rid of this. I don't know, but it looks nice.
It does look nice. I think it also looks nice.
Right? I think we can
Not
leave it
reading
like this.
Very cool.
Okay, we're good. Okay. And then also remember we needed this like piece down here. We might just be able to replace it with this here.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go in here again and I'm just gonna select those pieces, delete them out. Always a little bit scary when you do this, right? Or at least I feel like it's somewhat a little bit scary. So that seems alright. We just have to make it bigger. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. And same again, mark sharp. Mean bevel up. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Why is this not working? Oh, it's because it has a bevel. Fine. Let's apply the bevel first. Fine. Now? Yippee! No. Not yippee. Why are you not doing what you're told you're supposed to do? Look at this.
Wow.
Look at him being so nasty. What the hell? I was nothing but good to you. How dare you? I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. I'm gonna figure you out later. Okay, and then. So what I really liked was like maybe putting those ornaments also on top of these. Not here, right? But maybe here. That was like something that I thought about.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely. Just to bring the pattern, because it's such a nice pattern. Just bring it in somewhere else. I like that.
Right? It's so nice. It's too nice to not do it. I think
Yeah,
so
that's
too.
very cool.
Damn. Okay, fine. Okay, so the way to do this is, so we're getting this around nicely, is there is some trickery to this. So the trickery is we're gonna take this, duplicate this, separate it, and then turn it from a mesh, origin to geometry, and then we turn it from mesh into a curve. Well, that's the first step, right? Because we need something to this go along, right? For this to go along. Then we need to find those symbols again, because now they're already applied, so I fucked that up. So yeah, that's the first thing to, let me actually put these into, is this doing anything? No, go away. If you're not useful, go away. Okay, and this is, so now comes the tedious part, because I've just been like, you know, going on about this, but the tedious part is to name stuff. So for example, right, middle path.
Okay.
Then what else do we have here? We have, so we have everything that is supposed to be in this collection. We should be putting in one collection, right? So just gonna make a new collection. I'm just gonna name this front columns. Okay, so now we know this is the front pedestal, this is the front columns, right? And then I can name them afterwards, but we need to start separating stuff, otherwise it gets like very fast, very strange, let's just say. We should always take also the lights into camera, and I usually make a collection that's called Scene Setup. By the way, to make collections, you select different items. So for example, we could use like the ground and the stairs, for example, right? And the middle pathway, and press M on your keyboard and say new collection. And then you can say base structure. Let's call this base structure, right? And in the base structure, we also input the little images that we have here. And then it starts becoming very interesting, because I think all of this is probably, yeah. So new collection, back columns. Because otherwise, it's not only that, you know, someone else might not find their way around anymore, you will not find your way around anymore. It's just a thing, because these collections, they keep growing, and at some point you have no oversight anymore of anything.
No, that's confusing. Too much stuff.
Just too much stuff, exactly. Okay, so those are non-existent anymore. These should, yeah. Okay, see how this is a thing here?
Yes.
So let's just take, no. Okay, so let's just separate. Oh, can we separate them? No, but we can duplicate them. Let's duplicate them and put them in column decoration. Okay, so they're like not getting into our way. So now they're here, right? And the rest is gone again. And so one thing we need to do is we need to inspect this first. So something that he has already done is this is already applied. So we need to figure out the different elements and how to repeat them, right? Because now they're already stretched and applied. Or, wait, better idea. So much of a better idea. Never mind. We're just gonna be tricky about it. We're just gonna pretend we made this, when we in fact didn't. If this works, you know, then that would be so nice, because it will mean less work for us.
Wow.
It's not working though. Okay, no problem. No problem. Let me try something else. Yeah, that's the one we need. Okay. See how this still says bevel, mirror, subdivision, and array?
Yes.
That is the one that's important. It still says array. Array is the repetition, right? So
Yes.
this is the one thing we really do need.
Oh.
Yeah, because see how this has like still the intact ones over here? That's the
Yes.
one we need. So we're gonna duplicate this and gonna put this into the column decoration one, and then we're gonna hide this. So the thing is, if we put this array off, let's just array, Okay. So it's already bent, which is not great, but it's okay. Right. Oh, wrong approach. So ideally we have to bring this, let's just isolate this for a second. So ideally we actually have to bring this all the way down to make this work on a curve, because we want to put this on a curve. That's why we're like a little bit, well, some people would say we're stupid to do this. I say we're adventurous. Okay, so I made it a little bit bigger. Okay, so now if we were to put up an array with this, right? And we would add another one, that's a curve modifier. So the curve modifier can do what we need it to do and send this along a curve. It doesn't always work, right? So just be aware, it doesn't always work. Yeah, so sometimes just this happens, you know? And it's perfectly fine. No need to panic. Or maybe there is need to panic, who knows? No, sometimes just, okay, we can apply all transforms, see if that helps. It doesn't really help. This is always so tricky. I don't like this. Oh, but look, it's kind of working. It's not really working, but it's almost working. Okay, let's give this a good. Oh wait. I'm just seeing something. Wait. Okay, that explains it. Okay, so obviously, okay, wait, not obviously. It's not obvious. So one thing, it's a huge thing actually, is the fact that you need to make sure that all of this is literally at the center, right? If it's not, it will not work. And then we get occurrences like the one you just saw. So let's try this again. And let's this again on the cylinder. Yeah, so that should be working now. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not great, but I guess it's getting there. It's kind of like distorting it a little bit, but I think we can find probably like a fix for it. Maybe we can't, actually. We can. So we could use that and then manually kind of
Yes, bring it back. Oh my gosh.
see how you can bring it up like this.
Yeah. Wow.
It's not perfect though, but it's definitely a way on how we could potentially do this, I think, without having it look like really bad, you know?
That's cool. Or yo, nice pattern. We wouldn't got a curve though, at least.
Yeah, because like this we get to the point of, you know, actually making big ornaments, which is where I wanted this to go. But yeah, it's not perfect, but I guess it's in the background, no one can tell.
Yeah,
I'm being annoying
exactly.
again. It's all
Still
okay.
there.
Yeah, okay, so I guess that's the next stage for that. I wonder though what we can find to put in like the foreground, these like pieces. I wonder if I just make more of this and just like, you know, kind of like trash plug them on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of look like slabs, I think.
Yeah,
They are
right?
slabs, hey, yeah.
Yeah, something like this, I guess. Okay, that's for next time, I guess. I think we need like 10 sessions to complete this.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. I was wondering if I could maybe take on, I know I'll do the blue key, but if I could maybe do that, like one of the other keys, like the yellow one, maybe try as well. Just to like,
Yeah, I can definitely try and finish the purple one. The purple one is like um it's almost there, I think. So yeah, but it's gonna look really really nice with you know, with your outfit. I can really see it come together really nicely.
I'm very excited about it. I was just wondering, you know, can I just ask a question? What are those giant like circle line things like that are going over the camera?
Oh,
Yeah,
these
those
ones?
things. Yes.
Oh, they're lights.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay,
So
yeah, yeah.
no, don't be sorry, because so when I remember when I essentially imported her through the character creator pipeline in here, and so you
Yes.
have the option to say with lighting or no lighting, and I happen to really really like the light settings in character creator, so I was like, oh
Oh,
hell, we're gonna import the light, you know.
oh, that's
um,
cool. Okay.
yeah, so this is why they look a little bit different than um, the other lamps. And also, one thing that I wanted to show you but didn't is, remember the makeup that we selected?
Yes.
This here,
Yes.
right? So I think we could actually make. I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me right now, but who cares? Okay, so I was. Dude! Really? So I was thinking we could actually use a duplicate of the avatar and just essentially, like, you know, pick the pieces we
Yes.
need. Just roughly. We don't have to be super precise about it. Let's just say this is like roughly what we need. Then duplicate those, right? Separate them. And then essentially, you know, cut them the way we need them to actually be in the shape of whatever we need them to be. But then we could just apply, like a solidify on top, which
Yes.
essentially helps to make this look like a little bit more 3D shaped, right? So, like this, right? I thought maybe this could be a solution. Same with
Yeah.
the side pieces. And we
That's a
like
good
I
idea.
said, right? And we can make them nicer. Like, we don't have to leave them this way.
I think, yeah, that's a good idea, especially because it'll get her face and bone structure perfect. And, you know, if you use, you know,
Yeah.
just a duplicate like that, that's really clever.
No, because I was trying to do this, right, over in character creator, and just it didn't look good, like, at all, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, damn you,
Yeah.
you know. Actually,
That's
let's
cool.
move them over. Oh, I guess we can just duplicate them, I guess. Yeah, anyhow, that was another thing that I was like,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
that's what we can do, or how we could do this, you know. Right, and then you have this.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think this is how we get much, much closer to what we were looking at. And yeah, obviously
Yeah, that's a good idea.
we have to make it nicer and thinner and all of this, but
That's a good solution, though. That's clever.
yeah, okay. Glad you like it. Wait, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then, and here I think we have to become creative, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this
Yeah,
is where we
that's
get
so-
with this. Right? That's not bad.
Yeah, that's
Just
cool.
make it nicer. Yeah.
So that's a good idea.
As
Sure.
the little
So
trick.
creative.
Fake it until you make it. Nah. That's the motto. Yeah, no, but this is coming together so nicely. I'm so proud of us. Yay.
Yeah,
Okay.
awesome.
I'm gonna
Cool.
stop the recording soon, so let's say bye. Bye.
Okay, bye.